Hi, in this tutorial we are going to learn how you can create and deploy a machine learning models using the FAST API. So first things, you need to install the FAST API using the pip command, and you must have a Python installed in your systems for that. So you using the pip command you can install the fast API. So here I use the pip install and then fast API to install the fast API in my system. We need to wait to install all the related and dependent library. So now fast API is installed in my system. This warning is particular related to pip version because the newer version is already available. Now we need to install one another library along with the fast API, that is UVcorn, and we need to install that one as well. So I execute the pip space install and UVcorn. So now we also have a unicorn libraries as well along with the fast API. So now let's open this particular folder, that is a fast API, in the Visual Studio Code, and then we are creating one app.py files, and we can start with the our project. So let's open this particular folder in the Visual Studio Code. So I execute code space dot. So Visual Studio Code is already opened. Let me share that one as well. So this because I have two screens, Visual Studio Code is open in another Windows, so I need to drag and drop over here. So this is my Visual Studio, and I open the fast API folders over here, and inside that I need to create one app.py files. Inside that we can implement our API logics over there. So I need to create app.py files over here. So now our app.py file is created. Let's start with our logic inside that. So to start with the particular machine learning, and to create the models for the machine learning, before that we are creating one sample API project over here, so that we can understand how API is working using the fast API. So let's create one sample API using the get and post methods, and after that we can implement our the main logic that is related to machine learning. So let's create a sample API before that one. So I first import fast API from the fast API modules, and then I import the optional from the typing, and then after that we need to create the object for fast API. So I use the app as an object, and need to specify the fast API over there. So I am creating an object for the fast API. After that we need to create get methods for the default get methods when we are executing this particular URL in the browser. At that time we execute one sample hello words over there, so I need to create that get methods over here. So let's create a get method first. So I use @app.get, and we need to specify the path for that this default get method. So I specify the forward slash. So it's a default API page when we are executing the URL in the browser. So I create functions with the name of index, and inside that functions I return just simple message, something like a hello world. So I create a hello word. So in this particular API, we are using the two things, means name is hello and the value for that particular name is a word. So this particular tutorials we are using the JSON based response over here. So after that we are creating one another methods to related to our API, that is one another get methods along with some parameters. So I specify the name is parameters over here. So let's add some names over here, and let's create one function with the name of get names, and where we are passing name is argument, and then return something like we can say print that particular names that's passed by the user in the URL. So let's write logic for that. I already create the sample logic in the separate text file, so I just go to there and copy paste over here. So I just print a message and then value something like hello comma name. So this is my two get methods related to APIs. So here I create the sample APIs along with the two methods. One is the default that execute the default not taking any argument and just simply print a hello words, where hello is a names and value word is a value for that. And second things is I pass some names over here and the display the hello space name. To import that and run this particular fast API, we also need to import the unicorn over here. So let's import a unicorn as well, and let's the last thing that I include something like underscore name equal to main, that is required for the unicorn to run this particular default URLs in the browser. We can specify the IP and the port over there, so unicorn run this particular API on that particular IP and port number. So let's open in the terminal, and I need to run this particular API using the unicorn command. So I execute unicorn app is app, and then app, that is a second app is for our applications, and then run double hyphen reload. So this will execute the entire the API on the browsers. We can check we have one error related to fast API, so we may face having some case sensitive related errors over there. So first things, fast API, in the fast APIs need in the capital case, so we need to update that particular fast API. And again we already installed the fast API in the command line, so maybe sometimes Visual Studio not fetch the updated data from that, so we need to restart the Visual Studio, or we can say reload the particular project to include that particular module in the project. So I update the fast API with the capital case, and so let's again try with the unicorn app comma app, and then double hyphen reload. So we have one another app that is related to creating the object of fast API. So I need to update fast APIs in the object level class level as well. So in the line number 5 I need to update the fast API with the uppercase. So let's save it, so it will automatically reload the particular projects and run in the browser. So let's check in the browser, enter the URLs, something like 127.0.0.1 and port number 800. So you can say in the default path we have hello words, where hello is the name and what is the value for that, and we return the one JSON format. And let's execute some another command, that is space slash Jignesh. So here Jignesh is the name for that, so it's print hello Jignesh. So in this way we are creating one sample API using the fast API, and we have one default method for index, and we have another method which take one argument as a name parameter. So let's now create with one another files, and start creating with our machine learning model. Here we also need to check swaggers over there. So when you are using the fast API, it's automatically provide documents related to it's also provide the document in the uh, suggestions of swagger. So swagger is already implemented in that particular fast API. So using the docs, we need to specify the docs in the URL, and it's automatically open the swagger UI. So in the swagger UI you can check the all the APIs available in the our projects, and we can also execute the API from here as well. So you can check if default API I execute the default API is display the hello world, and in the next API I need to pass the names over here, and let's click on the execute, and it's execute the same as the it will execute same like a browser. So it's display the message that is hello Jignesh. So swagger UI help you to provide the graphics user interface along with some documentation as well. So when you are using the fast API, you just need to execute the docs URL in the browser, and swagger UI, API swagger UI automatically display all the APIs for you. Along with the swaggers, fast API also support one more documentation, that is redoc, and we can open that redoc using the redoc URL. So we need to pass the remove the all the URLs from the browser, and replace the docs with the redoc. So let's go to the browser. Before that we need to check that here we missed some details for the swagger. So let's add some details over here, and then we can move on the redoc. So here we need to specify some details related to our API, something like we can say help text, that this particular API related to this particular things. So let's give some sort of descriptions over there, something like this is the first hello. You can give the any help text over here, that is maybe more relevant to your particular API. So we need to give another description for the get name as well. So something like print your names and so let's save it, and again run the same in the swagger UI, that will display the your help text over there. So the swagger UI provide one type of a document for the API. So let's open this particular API first, and it will display the our help text over here, so user can easily understand what APIs is done using this particular API. So there is no separate documentation is required if we are using the swagger UI along with some documentation text, and if we follow some standard of the swagger UI. So this is the swagger UI that helped you to provide the UI for your API. So let's now check with the redoc. Redoc is the same like a swagger UI that also provide documentation for your API. So this is a UI of the Redux. You can check our two methods, that is first default index methods and the getName method. uh, so you can also check the response samples, and you can also check the response methods, how you can execute this particular methods, both methods, forward slash and forward slash with the name. Sorry. So you can also check in the API that what parameters is required for this particular API, and how you can pass and the data type for that particular API. So this is all related to Redux. You can use whatever you want, either Swagger UI or Redux. So this is done with our sample APIs that is created in the Swagger UI. So let's now move on the Visual Studio, and let's start creating one another files, that is model.py, and we are creating some codes related to machine learning and creating the sample model for our machine learning code. If you want to simply execute some methods in the fast API yeah, then this documentation is also helpful to you to create the samples, get and post methods using the fast API. So fast API is really cool things to when we want to create some APIs over there. So now let's create our new file that is model.py, that is useful to create our the machine learning model. So I already create the models for this particular practicals, so maybe I copy some of the code from that particular text file over here, but we uh, understand each and every lines one by one. So let's first import. We need to import some of the uh, data science related and pandas related libraries over here, so that we can implement the machine learning for that. So let's import pandas, then import sklearn, let's import pydantic as well, and then import the base model, and also import job libraries. This all library is related to some data science, some of the features from the data science, NumPy and the machine learning. If you don't already have installed this particular libraries in your system, you need to install this all libraries in your system first, and then we can import this particular libraries over here. So let's now create our base model is ready, so let's create one subclass, uh, and then that import that particular base models, and we are creating some we can say properties in that particular base class. some attributes in that particular base class that help us to understand and we can say understand our data inside that particular CSV files, and then compare all the records from related to CSV, and that it's provide some predictions related to data. So I just copy and this particular codes uh, from my notepad, and here I create one class that is iris precise that import the base model, and inside that I create four attributes for length, width, and then pendle length and petal width. Then I create one another models, that is iris models. Inside that I initialize, that is for the constructor, and inside that I read the data from one CSV file that help me to understand the logic, means when we are passing some predictions to this particular models, then models execute that CSV file and understand what is the possibilities of that records inside the that is data provided along with the CSV file. So I in the constructor we read some records from the CSV files along with the and specify the model's name over there, and using the job we load that particular things in the model. And if that record is not present in that job library, then in the exception side we create one train models over there, and we dump that particular train model into the job library. So it is something like that we automatically train this particular models along with some new records as well. So inside this particular train models we use some specification, and we use some records to dump over the into the job library. So my particular iris size class is ready, and iris models is also ready inside the model.py. And inside that particular iris model I also create the predict the precise functions to predict the data. You may notice this particular error that this module is not available. I already installed the Pydantics. I also use the sklearn libraries. I also installed the pandas also there. But sometimes Visual Studio may not load that particular models inside the projects. So we need to right click and use the control shift, or you can use the control shift P, and then search for the reload window, and then use that reload this particular windows. So Visual Studio Code automatically reload this windows, and it's find the updated modules in the systems, and import over here. So now let's run the project and check again. Yeah, seems like all modules are imported import from the libraries, and now we don't have any one means any such error related to modules. Now next task is to create one predict API, so that we can pass some prediction data over there, and we can predict the models. So we need to remove the entire code from here, and we need to rewrite some logic and create one new API for that. So let's remove the entire code from the app.py, and write some new logic and create one new API, that is predict. So I need to again import a unicorn and then fast API from the fast API module, and then import our two models from the models.py, that is iris models and iris precise model. Then I create the object for fast API, that is the app, and then create the object for the iris models, that is model. Now I create the predict APIs for that. So I and this predict API is a post type methods. So I use the app.post and then specify the path over there. Inside the predict the precise, I use the iris precise models. So we need to pass the data over here, and based on the data we can predict and find the probability of that particular records. So I use we not need to create any other methods, API methods over there. We only create over this particular one post methods inside the app.py. So when we are passing some predictions, means predicted data over there to this particular post API, it's automatically find the related records inside that particular CSV, and it's provide some prediction and probability of that particular records. So let's save this particular app.py file. So here we can understand that we have four particular parameters, or we can say attributes, inside the iris precise, and we need to pass all these the four informations when we are call that particular predict post API. So here I may miss some capital and small issue related to random forecast, so I need to fix that. Also for the base method, sorry, base model. So now seems that all is working good. So apart from that we also need to import this particular iris.csv file inside our folder, in the same folder where we have app.py and model.py. So we need to copy some iris.csv that contain once some predicted, or we can say some trained data over there, and based on trained data we can um, predict our models. So I include that particular CSV inside this particular project. You can check in this CSV I have some records related to iris model. So I have pedals length, pedal width, pedal length and pedal width, and some space size. Let's run this particular project using the unicorn. So I use unicorn app colon app and then reload. So now it seems that details is not found for default URLs, and in the Swagger URL we can check the predict post API over there. So inside this particular predict post API we need to pass some iris precise that include four parameters, that is sepal length, sepals width, petal length and petal width. So we need to pass that one as well as a request body for predict post API. When we are passing that detail, it's pass this particular detail to predict specialized functions, and it's perform some prediction and probability based on that. So you can check inside the data. I pass the sepal length, sepal width, petal length and petal width, and in the return we get some prediction along with the probability. And inside the model.py you can check the iris models that we already understand how it's work, and how train data is work, and how the predict the species is work. So now our both models and app.py are ready. I just need to confirm one again, so along with some functions, so that we can run the APIs in the browser side. So my all the things is ready as per the requirement, and I also we have all the details related to iris models, and this predict this precise function is called from the app.py to get the predictions and the probability. Here from here we call that particular function. Now let's go to the SOAP UI, and inside that we have our sample request body as well. So let's click on the try and pass some dummy data over there, and based on this data our API predicts a particular models, along with that find the probabilities and some predictions for that based on this particular data. So when we execute this particular sample data, we can say it's find the predictions, that is predictions and probability of that particular records. So you can check the predictions and probability for this particular is perfect or not based on the CSV records. And if you want to execute a command using the CMD, you can call copy this particular CURLs and paste in the CMD, and we get the same response as the SOAP UI. So let's open the CMD and execute this particular command over there. So you can check that I get the same response with the predictions and the probability. So we are conclude that we create one sample